Hi, I'm Kat and welcome to Kat's Cooking Corner. Today we're making apple sage pork chops in the crock pot. For this recipe you will need applesauce, sage, brown sugar, and your choice of pork chops. This is a very basic, easy recipe to do. All you need is some brown sugar. Just a second. A small dish. And yay! My brown sugar has gotten hard on me, so yeah, it's making a mess. Okay. Okay, try to mush up the brown sugar as much as possible if your brown sugar is hard like mine is right now. Just want enough to cover the bottom of the bowl. Then you will take some sage. This is ground sage. And sprinkle a good coating on top of the brown sugar. I literally do not have any measurements for this. It's just what looks good to me. So kind of mix it up a little bit. Then open up your crock pot. Take out your pork chops. I prefer thin cut chops. Some people prefer them thick. Whoa! It's all up to you. In case you can't tell, it's been a while since I've actually cooked in my kitchen. This summer was way too hot. So that's why I haven't done any new recipes in a while. So take and basically dip your pork chop in the brown sugar and sage mixture. Coat both sides. Set it into the crock pot. The brown sugar and sage is acting as a coating essentially. Now, I'm using actual brown sugar. They do have Splenda, a Splenda version of brown sugar if you are watching your blood sugar. Now, if you have a crock pot big enough to spread these all out along the bottom, great. I probably do. I have pretty much every size crock pot you can imagine. But today I'm just using my small one. Well, mid-sized one. And you will coat all of your pork chops. You can leave a heavy coating on if you want. I'm trying to just lightly coat them. No, as lightly as you can get doing it this way. So, kind of brush a little bit of it off before I put them in. If you don't have enough room to spread them all out along the bottom, that's fine. You can stack them. But still try to spread them out as best as you can. And see, I just have a little tiny bit left, and I'll go ahead and dump it in there. Moment to clean everything up there. Okay, once you have your pork chops in, then you'll take a jar of applesauce. And I usually pour the entire jar in. This way you don't need water, you don't need broth of any sort, you just use the applesauce. And that will give you the apple portion of the apple sage pork chops. Also gives it the liquid to cook in. It's really good. Okay, and I used unsweetened applesauce on this. Now, that is all you need for the basic, bare essentials of this recipe. It's ready. Depend upon how long you have for it to cook. If you need it done quickly, say in an hour or so, I'd put it on high. If you have 2, 3, 4 hours, put it on low. It also depends on what size pork chops, etc. you use, how long it's going to cook. This recipe is very basic, and it's up for interpretation by whoever is actually making it. It's not one of those, well, these rules are set in stone recipes. But, like I said, this is the basic essential part. Now, if you want to go a step further, you can actually take some apples. Take and prep them and dice them up in the crock pot as well. If I don't cut myself with this knife. Did actually finally get some good kitchen knives, so these are much sharper than the ones I was working with. But you will want to peel them. Peel them, remove any bad spots, core them, all that good stuff. And then just toss them in with everything else. Oops. Making a slight mess. I would actually cut them into eighths. Toss them in. And like I said, depending upon how long you have before you need your food done, there's different settings on your crock pot. Some even have automatic timers. I have one that has a timer. So when the food's, you set the timer and it automatically turns off whenever that timer goes off. This one is just basic, low, high, and warm. I have about 4 hours before I need my food, so I'm setting it to low. Crock pot meals are great for people on a very tight schedule. If you trust your wiring in your house, then you can put your food in your crock pot before you go to work. Turn it on to low, and when you come home from work, you will have dinner ready. I don't trust the wiring in my apartment, but if you do trust your wiring, you can do that. But they are great. The meals are usually really simple to prep. Just throw everything together, put it in the crock pot, turn it on, and it cooks itself. Thank you for watching today's episode of Kat's Cooking Corner. If you would like to see more recipes, please subscribe.